these ideas away.
Hope cannot save them!
Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. In this video I wanted to cover everything we know about Star Wars Battlefront 2 and summarize it in a nice format so that those of you who haven't followed along all the news that has been simmering out after the reveal of Battlefront 2 can get it all in this video. I might not go into every little detail as in which blaster has been shown in the background of the trailer and things like that, but I will be covering all the major aspects as well as going into all the gameplay changes and gameplay additions that we know will be coming into the game. But without any further ado, let's get straight into it, and let's start off with some basics. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is being developed by 3 studios. Criterion Games in the UK are working on space battles, Motive Studios in Canada are working on the single player campaign, and DICE in Stockholm, Sweden are working on the core game and the multiplayer. So this is 3 times as many studios as the previous game had. And some of the major additions they've added to the game that people asked for from the previous one is of course a single player campaign, that the gameplay will be spanning across all 3 eras including Clone Wars, space battles at launch and a class system. EA has also stated that the game will have more than 3 times as much content as the previous game has, which is quite the bold statement. The game will be released on November 17th for everyone, but it will be available on November 14th if you have the Elite Trooper Deluxe Edition. And lastly, you can actually play it 1 week early on November 9th if you have EA access on Xbox One or Origin access on PC. But now let's move on to some of the more specific parts of the game and go through what we know about them. First off, we have the single player campaign. The single player campaign will be spanning 30 years from the end of Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens. And you will be following along the point of view of the Empire, as the main character for the single player campaign is called Iden Versio, and she is the leader of the Inferno Squad, a special ops team in charge of carrying out the Emperor's contingency plan after his death, which we see him deliver through a Sentinel droid in the trailer. We will be able to experience aspects of the single player campaign through the eyes of characters like Luke and even Kylo Ren, which will make the campaign feel more like the movies, where you sometimes jump from side to side and you don't always see the story from one point of view. Iden has a controllable backpack droid which will be her companion through the campaign, and in the trailer we can see it electrocuting a rebel, meaning that it will probably have some cool abilities. The campaign will also introduce us to a brand new planet called Vardos. Vardos is Iden's home planet, and it's actually a planet that willingly joined the Empire. Through the concept art it looks like a very urban planet, but with some red colors in there with the trees, but we don't know in which way we will be visiting this planet. I can also note that there's a novel coming out called Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad, which will be released in July and will be taking place a few years before the Battlefront 2 campaign and will show us the formation of the Inferno Squad. And lastly, on the single player note, they have mentioned that there will be offline single player modes that sound a lot like skirmish, where you will be able to play against AI foes in skirmishes that span the cinematic eras, where you engage enemies in totally new modes. But they have given us very little detail on those specific offline modes, so it's hard to say exactly what those will be. If we then move over to the multiplayer, one of the big things is of course that it spans across all eras. This means that there will be clones, battle droids, stormtroopers, rebels, resistant fighters and First Order stormtroopers available in multiplayer, with of course many variations within each of those factions. The game will also be implementing a class system, and the class system has 4 classes: the Assault, Heavy, Specialist and Officer class, and we don't know exactly what these classes will do, although we can get some details from this Deluxe Edition pre-order bonuses, which shows us the different types of blasters and modifications that they can have. They've also said that you will be able to tweak your playstyle within each class, so they won't be completely locked like in the original Battlefront games. And in terms of customization and progression, that seems to be something they have put a lot of effort into, and you will be able to progress and customize blasters, classes, heroes, ships and vehicles. So you will be able to progress and customize pretty much everything in the game. And they've also hinted towards ship classes being available in the game, which could include stuff like bombers, interceptors and transport ships. But those specific types are just speculation. But while I mention heroes, here's a list of all the so far confirmed heroes for the game. Rey, Kylo Ren, Yoda, Han Solo, Darth Maul, Luke and Iden Versio, who we don't know if she will be in the multiplayer or not. As for confirmed vehicles, it's a little bit trickier because it's hard to know if all of these vehicles that we've seen in the background will be playable or not, but here's a list of the vehicles we've seen or heard about so far that are within a playable size, meaning I won't be bringing up different types of Star Destroyers here. We have speeder bikes, Tauntauns, Obi-Wan Starfighter, Slave One, the Millennium Falcon, First Order TIE Fighters, Imperial TIE Fighters, X-Wings, TIE Interceptors, Y-Wings, A-Wings, LAAT gunships, AAT tanks, Vulture droids and ARC 170 Republic starfighters. There's also a few other vehicles which are a bit borderline and it's hard to say if they will be playable or not, such as the Corvus, which is the Inferno Squad's Raider class corvette, and Leia's transport ship. Some other things worth noting regarding the multiplayer is that it seems like there will be no season pass. They kind of went out and accidentally said this and then took it back, but they have specifically said that they have something new in store and that they have listened to the community. So it seems like there will not be paid DLC for the next game, but there also seems like there will be some type of microtransactions in the game based off some pre-order pages that said that the game will include in-app purchases. But same thing there, we have no idea what these microtransactions will cover, if it will be gameplay aspects or just cosmetics. While we're going through some lists, here are the 11 so far confirmed planets to be in the game. First off, we have Naboo, specifically Theed and the generator room as shown by concept art and the trailer. And then Endor, Starkiller Base, Takodana, Hoth, Vardos, Tatooine, specifically Mos Eisley, Kamino, Jakku, Yavin 4 and the Death Star. That's 11 locations, but I also want to quickly note that they haven't confirmed which ones of these will be in the single player or in the multiplayer, or if all of them will be in both. Now let's delve into some more gameplay details. These are gonna be a little bit unstructured, as it's mostly quotes from different interviews and small snippets of information that has popped up from different sources after the reveal. First off, we have heroes. There will not be any hero pickups in the game anymore. Actually, there will not be vehicle pickups either, because they have said that if you spawn in as something, you will play as that for the entire life. So you won't just disappear from the battlefield all of a sudden and then become a ship. But if you spawn as Leia, you play as Leia until you die. If you spawn as a battle droid, you will play as a battle droid until you die. We don't know exactly how the hero system will work, but they have mentioned that it's going to be based off some sort of resource system. This is most likely still in the works, but my guess is that you might be able to build up resources during a match and then spend that to spawn in as a hero, vehicle and maybe some other types of special troopers, and that all of those will have different costs depending on how powerful they are. And something else that they seem to have changed a lot in terms of the heroes is that there will be multiple heroes on the battlefront at the same time, but that the heroes will not be the indestructible machines that they were in the last game, but they will instead be balanced so that if you have 4 troopers facing off against a hero, you will actually stand a chance. And if you work as a team together, you can take out these heroes. This is some very interesting statements, and it's hard to know if this is good or bad. I obviously think it's good that you stand a chance against the heroes, but the heroes should not be so weak that they're not fun to use. I think it's gonna be a lot easier to judge this after EA Play, when we will most likely see some gameplay. And they also said that the heroes will have this rock, paper, scissors feel, where some heroes are better against others and some heroes are really bad against others, meaning that when you play game modes that have a lot of heroes, you gotta think carefully about what you choose. And while we're talking about heroes versus heroes, they have said that some game modes will allow you to cross-era play heroes, meaning that Yoda can fight Kylo Ren if you want to. However, in terms of the infantry, it seems like there will be battle droids on Theed, First Order Stormtroopers on Starkiller Base, and Rebels on Endor. So I don't think you will be able to play droids against Stormtroopers, but it's only the heroes that will be allowed to be played against each other across eras. They have also completely remade the hero system for the game, meaning that the heroes will be a lot more responsive and they will react very differently when they get hit by different abilities. So they have improved a lot of the clunkiness that the heroes in the previous game had, and this also includes lightsaber combat, which wasn't that good in the previous game. These space battles will have 64 ships in them, 24 players and 40 AI, so these are a lot bigger than the space battles / fighter squadron matches that we had in the previous game. They've also said that there will not be a partner or a squad system, but something new, exciting that they have yet to reveal. Blasters will also be more difficult to learn, meaning more recoil. There will be a difference when you aim down sights, and of course you can also customize them with attachments, meaning that the blaster gameplay will have a lot more depth in this game compared to the previous one. There will still be some pickups, such as the smart rocket, and they've also said that the thermal imploder will be in the game somehow, but my guess is that these will hopefully not be randomized through shiny pickups, but something you can actually see on the ground and pick up. The progression system in single player will be consistent with the multiplayer, but you won't be able to just play single player to unlock all the weapons from the multiplayer. There will be some unique characters on different planets. They didn't go into specifics here, but just as a speculation, this could mean things like Wookiees on Kashyyyk if that planet is in the game, and other indigenous species on the different planets. Jump packs are confirmed to be in the game, however the lead designer confirmed that it will only be for specific characters, so you will not see everyone jumping around with jump packs as in the previous game. And lastly, let's just go over quickly the different editions of the game and the pre-order bonuses. If you pre-order the game, no matter which version, you will get exclusive Kylo Ren and Rey themed looks inspired by Star Wars The Last Jedi. You will also get epic ability modifiers for Kylo Ren and Rey, as well as epic ability modifiers for the Millennium Falcon and a new First Order ship rumored to be Kylo Ren's. In terms of different editions, there's the Standard Edition for $60 or the Elite Trooper Deluxe Edition for $80, which includes a upgrade pack for each class, as well as that 3-day head start that I mentioned earlier. You can see the upgrade pack on the screen right now, and it includes a weapon epic ability as well as a weapon modification for each class. But that should be everything we know about Battlefront 2. There are of course a couple of more minor details, but that is everything you need to know about Battlefront 2 right now, including everything that was revealed at Star Wars Celebration and all the tons of interviews that came out after that, as well as some official posts the last couple of weeks. The next stop is EA Play, where they will most likely be revealing gameplay and talking a lot more about the gameplay specifics. So if you're interested in more Star Wars Battlefront 2 content and want to keep up to date with this game, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoy this video, feel free to drop a like, as a lot of effort went into it. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.